So we've got quite a lot going on after the new year here, guys. We're actually going to be blessing the cars as is custom in Thailand after New Year. We actually have a number of different vehicles to bless this time around. I think it started at 2 and now I think we've got 6 or 7 vehicles to bless. So I'm going to be showing you that later in the vlog. Today I want to tell you a little bit about our water filtration system, how it works, how we're getting on with it, and I'm going to be explaining what we're going to be doing with the solar here on the farm, which is going to go in this month. We're making some preparations for that, and we're actually getting in the big guns to come and cut a very large tree that is actually putting too much shade onto the roof where the solar will go. And I don't know how they're going to do it, to be honest, because the tree is enormous, but you're going to see in this vlog how that works out. So thanks for joining us today. So our filter system is here. It requires a little bit of maintenance. At first it's a little bit daunting when you first get it. You're like, oh, I don't know what to do, but after a couple months you realize it's quite easy. Basically, these filter tanks on the 1st of every month, I backwash them. You can get automatic backwashes, which I may do in the future, but for now these are manual ones. It just involves doing a backwash on each tank, doing a rinse, rinsing the water out here, and that cleans all of the medium inside, the substrate inside, which is involved in the filtration of the water. So we have 3 substrates. We've got like a resin, which has to be refreshed with salt water every like 6 months. That's the first tank. Second tank we got like manganese, and the other one is carbon, activated carbon. So the water moves through these 3 tanks, and then it goes up into the 7-stage reverse osmosis filtration system, which includes the UV light. You have the osmosis filter, you have the remineralization, it puts the minerals back in to make the water taste nice. After that 7th stage, it comes out here and we put everything into glass water bottles, so as not to have any microplastics. The whole point in this really is to avoid, well, part of it's being a little bit self-sustainable as well, but it is to avoid microplastics in the water. It has been commented before, like, well, it's running through like PVC pipe. So what about those plastic? Well, once you get up to the 7-stage filter, which is what removes the main microplastics, you only have this small pipe here that goes to the tap where the water is running through and could pick up microplastics. But these tubes are specially designed for water filtration, not to put microplastics into the water, and it's far less, like a 99.9% less than if you were drinking this from the local suppliers, in that the local suppliers actually wash these bottles with sand, and of course that abrasiveness will release microplastics into the water, and then this can end up standing for weeks or even months in the hot sun, which breaks down the plastic into the water. And also, if you buy bottled water from the supermarket, of course, especially in Thailand where it's very hot, it can increase the incidence of microplastics in the water. So that is why we do it. You know, the water tastes nice. To be honest though, regardless of all that, I just like to do it. I like to just do our own water, and it's like growing your own vegetables or something, you know. It's just, you feel like it tastes nice. It might not necessarily not, but this has become a bit of a water and washing area around here. Still needs a bit of work, but our next project really is solar. And then the solar, they actually came to see us recently, and we're going to be trying them out, and we'll tell you if we can recommend them or not. But originally it was going to go on the top of the cottage here because of the morning facing sun, but the guy that installs it actually said it would be much better on this roof here. So I think we're going to obviously go with his advice. Depending on how many panels I get, like at first I was looking at 16, but now I think I'm going to get 24. I may do the majority on this roof and then just put an extra 8 panels up here on the cottage to capture any morning sunrise. So we'll see how that goes. But then we're going to be converting the office in the cottage into a solar room and what I call my super pantry, which will have like chest freezers, storage for rice, just a mega pantry, like a food supply, year's food supply in there, along with all of the equipment like the inverter and the batteries, of which I'm getting 3 15 kilowatt batteries, I think. That should be more than enough to run air conditioners in both my place and the cottage here, and I think we'll have no problems. I may have to replace my hot showers. Currently they're like 6,500 watt or something. I've actually learnt a lot, and I've had some subscribers reach out to me. Shout out to Dan over in Pattaya. They've been helping me navigate this, and find the best system for us, and we think we've come up with the best system for what we require. It's been a lot of research. It's been like 6 months of going backward and forward and deciding what exactly we want. Just after New Year, as is the tradition in Thailand, all of the cars must be blessed, and it is an expanding profile on the farm. We've got Yai's cart to come yet. We've got my truck, the white car, the Honda is a sister's, the Mazda over there, which is my previous car. And so all the cars are to be blessed, and the spirits are to be given some Leo this morning. So they're going to be enjoying that Leo with a little bit of jackfruit, grapefruit, orange, dragon fruit. Presentation of the fruits, guys. That's what the spirit's like. A little bit of Leo, a little bit of fruit. I'm surprised there's no rice whiskey out here. Usually you get a bit of rice whiskey too. Oh, Lau Khao Dui, so the rice whiskey's coming too. Apparently the more cars you have, the more beer you gotta give them to make sure they're appeased, you know. And the whole idea is that you're making the cars safe and blessed for the coming year. Obviously there's a lot of driving goes on in our family. Alfie's enjoying the morning sun here, as the dogs do. They love to sunbathe in the morning, so they're all out. They usually dig a little hole and sit in it for the morning and get warmed up, especially this time of year because it's cold. So they love the sun. Alfie's really getting into it here. Also special edition, we obviously have the cart here, the electric cart, but we also have Yai's new cart, which is what she got for Christmas. Yai has never actually driven a motorbike in her entire life. A motorbike, which is quite surprising in Thais usually. They were too poor to have motorbikes back in the day. And so we bought her this, and she's been working hard at it.
หักสุดเลยหักสุดเลยนี่ว้าว
It has worked out as a very good Christmas present actually, because it's given her dad the opportunity to get out the house too. Yai can stick him in the back and drive him around. It's a two-seater, so the main seat actually slides back when you unlock it, and dad can sit on the back, Yai can sit on the front, and it's given an opportunity to be able to be buzzed around the village. And now he's meeting his relatives that, to be honest, don't live that far, but he rarely sees, and seeing all his brother, his sister, his relatives. I have to say his sister is a better driver at it than Yai. She jumped straight on and she knew how to use it, despite also not have driven motorbikes in her life. It seems the one that's benefited the most though is Damo's dad, and having the ability to be scooted around, which wasn't something that we actually thought about when we got it for Yai. It was just for her to go to the rice field.
Ooh, they got fish. So this after rice season, they have a fish. They have fish from the pond. อุ้ยปลาไหล ew. They got ew.
ยายขับรถในหมู่บ้านหรือยังครับ She said I've only driven it round here. I've not been in the village, just here. She said I'm not brave enough to drive yet. ใช่ฝึกซ้อมทุกวันใช่ไหมครับ She said I'll get the hang of it. I said you can practice every day. รถชนหรือยังครั้งหนึ่ง She said I only crashed it once, just a little bit in the wood. This is betel nut, guys. Bit of tobacco. So it's mark, which is the drug that they take, not Yai, but many of them. So you have all the vices basically, what they smoke, what they drink, and what they take. So the very short ceremony just involves saying like a chant, a Buddhist chant, and basically they're asking for the car not to crash, not to get in any accidents. But as is the case in Thailand, there's usually some additional stipulations. One includes help money come back to the house and help gold come back to the house. This of course is just the Thai thinking, and then you must wait for the incense to burn down. That is going to tell you when that's finished that the spirits have enjoyed the food and the beer and whatnot, and that have bestowed the blessings on each of the cars. Each car horn is beeped 3 times. Every car must do it, including the motorbike here, which Damo, I can't believe she did it, but she got it started. Nowhere. Oh my god. 3 beeps and flowers on the front of the car as well. I do plan to be doing a lot of driving this year, hopefully, so hopefully these blessings come in useful and they're not the famous last words. It does look like we have a lot of cars on the farm, but just to let you know, the cart obviously is for Yai to get around, which is a new addition. The carts replace the old motorbike that Damo had trouble starting. It's for getting the kids to school in the morning and then running errands around the farm. There's my old Mazda, which is going to be sold very soon. Then we've got the Honda, which belongs to Damo's sister, which obviously they came here with. And the white car, which used to be the original car on the farm, but actually belongs to Damo's sister in Germany, but it used to be used by Uncle Monk before he passed away, and now it came back to the farm. And then my new red truck, which is replacing the Mazda and is the family car for many years to come, hopefully. So I absolutely love it, guys. It's been a wonderful addition to the farm. Damo's in the background there doing a little blessing. I think she worries most about the car in my car, because I probably drive more than everybody here, up and down the country with the other channel, chatting with different people. So, by the way, I'm going to be travelling through Khon Kaen, I think Korat, Udon Thani, and then I'm going north up to Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai area. So if you are in those areas, you can contact me by email here, and I'm sharing expat stories from all around Thailand. You can let me know your story. I can't get back to everybody because I do get quite a lot of emails, but you let me know your story, and I can see what I can do to stop by and see you. This is Damo's younger sister over here that's doing her Y at the moment. She is at university. She just finished university at the moment. She's a nutritionist, and she's gone to work in a hospital in Khon Kaen, and she's dealing with different patients with different medical needs. So she's now working full-time in that job. So as we prepare for the solar here, we brought in the professionals. We've had a bit of trouble trying to get somebody to cut. We don't want to cut the tree down because we love the tree, but these branches are a problem that extend over. Not only can they fall on somebody or the house when there's a storm, they are providing too much shade for where our solar panels are going to go. I can see the expressions on their face are a little bit like, I'm not sure if we can do this. They are these are the professionals though, but they are looking a bit mystified. They actually say this one here is easier than this one that's going over the house here, which I think Damo also wants to get done. There are locals in the village that do this like as a service, but none of them wanted to touch this particular tree because they just said it's too complicated, and also it's too dangerous. Now I'll give you a bit of an insight to the village as well. You could offer a certain amount of money to get it done, and somebody would take a stab at it because they need the money, but it's very frowned upon in the village by the kind of council, I guess. I'll call it a council now. But if that person had an accident and has no insurance and stuff, they're kind of left in the lurch. So it's frowned upon to get them to do it for any amount of money, if you know what I mean. And so although we did have an offer from one person in the village, we decided not to go that route. Of course somebody could get hurt because it's a dangerous thing to do. It looks easy, it looks like you just climb up there and get a saw and it'll fall down, but these guys are going to do it properly so it doesn't fall on the house or the shed underneath there, see. So, and then there's a couple of trees here. We don't want to completely destroy the trees. This is actually an avocado that I planted from an avocado that I bought from Tesco. So, or Lotus as it's called in Thailand. This tree will have to go in the middle here, and then some of this tree will have to go as well. We were going to build a long structure, basically extending here from the carport. It was going to go all the way along here, and you could basically drive under it, and it would be on columns, and then the panels then are easy to access and easy to clean. So, but the reason we didn't go that way is we don't know what's going to happen with this land in front in the future, and the panels would be facing the wrong direction. So unless you kind of tilted them one way, and it just became like a little bit more complicated than we needed it to be, considering we have a perfectly viable roof already. The guy just advised, he said you could do either way, but you might as well just do the roof. Now what we will do is add a ladder so we can access the roof and hose down the panels whenever we need to, which will probably be, because it's quite a dusty place to be here, we'll probably have to hose down the panels maybe once every 3 or 4 months, something like that, for keeping maximum efficiency, which is perfectly doable. I think if the buildings that we had were on 2 floors, we probably wouldn't put the panels on top because we need the access. But because it's only 1 floor, it's quite easy to access with a ladder that we're going to put in. And that's what we're going to do, rather than building this elaborate frame on the front, which, to be honest, would look pretty cool, I gotta say, but would take a little bit more time.
Stay away from my door. Trouble, stay away from my door. Trouble, come back, don't come around no more. Trouble, stay away from my door. Trouble, stay away from my home. Trouble, stay away from my home. Never go on back and leave my soul alone. Never stay away from my home. Never come around me no more. Never come around me no more. Never go on back and walk on out the door. Never come around me no more.
All right, so this is the finished piece, guys. As you can see, they've cleared a lot of the main branches. That one over there, over the house, they couldn't get because it would fall in the garden on the house. Now we just got, obviously they don't do the cleanup job. We have to do the cleanup job, but that's fine. And then we've cleared the way for the solar project, guys. That is the big project of this year, is we're going solar. So the setup is a beast as well. So when we're not cutting corners, we'll be showing you all along the way the installation. I'm going to be doing a dedicated vlog to all of the thinking behind this, why we're doing it, and how much it costs, etc. That's coming up on the channel. So thanks for joining us on today's vlog.